Hello. Oh. What happened to my PNG tuber? That's sad. She disappeared. Well, I'll bring her back. Materialize. Do it. Yes. Okay, there we go. Hello, you two. Good afternoon. How it go? How it go? Hello, hello. I was just standing here with this lady. She was debating putting fish in this little pond. Or this little water fountain. Don't quite know what she's up to. Her head is full of fish. It is about time that I continued this part of the story. I am very curious to see what happened. And look at this little cute bird! Where? If everyone's ready, there's a few creations I need to check on. First, we shall return to the spot where we found our wayward ambystoma. Have care when you step outside the hub, for there may be unruly creatures about. Okay, I see. Last we left off, we had a little shenanigan with this guy. Trying to get his axolotls back. After they climbed a tree and left their pond. Also off stream, I tried getting as many aether currents as I could, just so I could fly around in places more. I forgot to do the first one. In Labyrinthos. Hi Daniel, good morning. I'm not awake. Okay, go back to sleep. It is fine. Need to do a bunch in Elpis, and then there's still one area. Hello, hello. Oh, I should actually swap to my ascian look, since we're undercover here. And I'm totally an ascian, yes. Do not pay attention to my tail and horns. And the fact that my face has scales. I wish I could, but I gotta work. Oh. I hope you have a good day. Hi, Kosik. What are you trying to do with that butterfly? This here is a new species of Petaloda. We recently set loose. It has been doing very well, managing to maintain a stable existence thus far. If it can see its observation period to the end without issue, we shall release it onto the world. Tell me, do you know the difference between living beings and arcane entities? Not really. It is the presence of a soul. Yet the soul isn't something you can choose to have at will. No, it manifests only in those beings whose forms adhere to the laws of creation, that can endure on their own. Beings that do not fulfill this requirement, such as those spontaneously born of magic or natural phenomena, do not have souls. No matter how much it might resemble flora or fauna, if it lacks a soul, then it is considered an arcane entity. So you see, it's not for mankind to decide what is living. That domain lies beyond our manipulation, and it is hubris to assume otherwise. But come, let us head to the nearby beacon. I've received a report that arcane entities have gathered there. Alright. I'm going to drive over this entire flower field with a gas spewing motorcycle. I'll try to do some tricks too. Yeah! I hope you're doing fine today, besides that. Besides having to go to work later. I hope you're doing alright. Get some rest before you go. Wah, 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 wah. Ah, yes, lightning pneuma, just as the report said. Although we call this structure a beacon due to its form, it is in fact a magical device. By manipulating the balance of elements, it keeps the Isle airborne, and maintains the climate thereupon. In the course of its operation, it often sees an internal shift towards a given element. Right now, that element is lightning, which draws the Numa here to replenish their aether. It appears Meteon's busy. Would you care to assist me in her stead and feed the Numa? What do you feed a lightning elemental? By using this lightning converger, you can harness ambient lightning and focus it into a ball. A veritable feast for our dazzling friends. Go on, give it a try. Okay. Use the lightning converger to create ball lightning. Oh. I should hit both, I think. Target missed. What, is one of them gonna go hungry? I should have hit. Yeah, man. Alright, fine, I'll just choose one. What? Am I supposed to shoot it here? Of course. I thought I was supposed to hit them with it. Perfectly done, Drew. Look. Ah, nature is beautiful. See how they gather to feed, how they express themselves through their actions despite their lack of words. Speech is not a sole-defining characteristic of a thinking, feeling creature, nor is silence an indication that they do not possess these qualities. Be it a soulless arcane entity such as a Numa, or the ephemeral life form such as a Petaloda. All seek to perpetuate their existence, to survive. Is Meteon a living being? Or Meteon? Probably Meteon. A good question. I can answer it from a theoretical standpoint, but it ultimately falls to the Bureau of the Architect to pass judgment. Those with exceptional visions, such as Hyphlodius, may be able to ascertain her true nature. But to me, it doesn't matter. She is herself, and that's all I need to know. Oh, Emmett's not having a good time. Oh, you finished already? I'm sorry, I was in the way. Not to worry, my dear. They missed nothing of note. And we still have plenty of work for them to observe. Next, we will head east to the Morning Dew. Not to the Morning Drew. She is currently next to us. We are talking about the Morning Dew. It's quite a bit further away. I need to speak with some of the observers there. I'm trying. I love that we get an in-depth look into how Ascians like to finagle creation. Spin. I should try spinning. That's a good trick. What you guys call them? It's a bit different where I'm from. Oh, it's those flowers. I should pick one. What do you mean? Oh my god, she was right! Who could have known that this entire subplot part of the game would have been actually factually correct? Well, well, of course you weren't, Emmett. You lived under a rock for quite a while. Kinda just felt like it, really. Hmm. Sure you don't. Nah, I'm just full of beans and shrimp and pasta. Sure, I don't see why I couldn't be one. Probably. I might be. Oh, Ebba, you have to be such a killjoy, really. Well, it's gotten me through so many other things before. Give it the ability to reinforce itself as a wall. That way the Great Gobu Wall will remain stronger than ever. Not that I or anyone else would be able to make use of it even if we knew. But it irks me to discover that there's an entirely different form of energy, and no one told me. That personal annoyance aside, Hermes' knowledge is undeniably impressive. Given that there are none among the 14 who specialize in the celestial, he would be a welcome addition. Assuming he can be persuaded to join, that is. I still can't understand his hesitation. What do you specialize in? Oh, you wish to know why Emmett Silk was chosen for the convocation? I should be glad to share the tale. It began when... Not another word. Lest you've forgotten, we're here to learn about Hermes, not me. My misspent youth is not your concern. Oh, but I wanted to. I wanted to learn more about you. Well, my apologies for the wait. I've inspected the Ampelos to my satisfaction. All is well with the creature, and I dare say it won't be long ere it's released into the world. Another creation, however, reportedly isn't faring so well. The Charybdis. That is what we shall tend to next. If you would follow me, my friends, we shall return to the main isle and head north. Okay then. Yup. I do kind of. I'm not sure if I should be happy that we're getting so many explanations on how things work in this game, or if things should remain a mystery. There's a certain charm to not knowing as well. But my curiosity does want me to know, so I'm not gonna complain. Hey, it's one of, what's its, minions? Yep. From Infinite Blue, why can't I remember the name? Where is it? Heaven's Ward. What's its name? Is it not in here? Huh. I guess not. Also, I forgot there was an explorer mode in this game. Like, if you beat a dungeon, you can just walk around and look at it. That's kind of fun. I like that. I understand there's a problem with one of the Charybdis. Yes, that's right. As we know, the Charybdis is based on a sea creature, owing to the adjustments to enhance its affinity to wind. It is capable of flight. The specimen created from the concept could all fly without issue, but a problem arose in the subsequent generations. This third generation creature was born with an etheric balance leaning strongly towards water, its aquatic origin reasserting itself, it would seem. The result being its affinity to wind is diminished, and it cannot fly no matter what we try. We can't get it to rise even the slightest bit. But but isn't it kind of flying right now? For such change to manifest in so few generations, I fear they are too unstable, flawed. With your permission, I will revert the creatures and then recommend the Bureau that the concept will be revised. With its etheric balance leaning towards water, the Charybdis would well indeed struggle to manipulate wind. Yet it's too early to conclude that it cannot fly. Having failed at first, it may simply have developed a fear. I shall transform and fly with it, helping it to manipulate wind until it finds its wings. Whoa, hey, you don't need to go that far. You can transform. I want to see. You don't know? Well, of course but of course not. Transformation is an art in which one manipulates a vast quantity of aether to construct another body around oneself. In practice, this allows one to assume any conceivable form, and thereby transcend the limits of one's own flesh. Oh my god. Hold on. This entire time, I forgot that the game audio wasn't on. Oh. Oh, well, it's on now. Sorry. Yet convenient though it may be, transforming in the presence of others is considered vainglorious in the extreme, as uncouth and unseemly as running about robeless. Shameful. Ooh, you're getting stripped. Am I to understand you make a habit of this? Nothing of the sort, it's just that when transformed I can wield the wind and fly. It may seem excessive, but what is our shame next to the lives of these creatures? They deserve a chance, and we owe it to them to do all in our power. Be that as it may. Yes, I believe I have a solution. And itself, may I trouble you to move that Charybdis away from its fellows, somewhere out of sight? Meanwhile, I'd like the rest of you to help me prepare here. What mischief are you scheming now? No mischief, I assure you. I would but spare you the need to report to your colleagues that Hermes committed an indiscretion. And so have a little faith and run along. I trust you don't mind. Wow. I can't believe I left the audio muted the whole time. Where? But at least I spotted it early. God, it would have been really embarrassing if that was the entire stream. Emet-Selk is out of sight. Good, let's speak of the plan. It's a stroke of genius, really. We have Emet-Selk train the Charybdis. Oh, you're gonna just give him all the work. Aside from being able to fly and transform, he can readily see ether currents. And with his adept spellcraft, he can also employ suitable wind magic to guide the creature along. While he is indeed capable of all you've described, it's not his duty. I am loath to trouble him with it. Don't be! As I mentioned, I would also be... It would also be for his own sake. With that settled, let's begin at once. Drew, I want you to go to Emmett Selk. Tell him that you have a favor to ask. He will be disinclined to cooperate at first, but you mustn't be discouraged. With our friend, the trick is to be unflaggingly persistent. Off you go now, and good luck. Alright, I have to actually ask him for a favor. I have a favor to ask. Smelly. He really did go off on his own quite a bit. I am, well, are your preparations for the scheme that is clearly not a scheme complete? I have a favor to ask, Smelly. Oh, no you don't. I'm not lifting a finger. Ugh. I don't know what Hephaestus is up to, and I will not be made to know. I refuse. Please, Emmett Selk. I need to do capital E because this game is very sensitive to that. Please, Emmett Selk, you stinky baka. Egui, hello, Absol.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
Please, senpai.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emmett Selk. Please teach her to fly.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Oh, he's gonna whip his cock out.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
Please, Emmett Selk. Please.
Oh no, he's taking psychic damage.
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I'd thank you to remember this favor and let it be the last.
Nice.
I will aid it once it has taken to the air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
Well, let's relax and enjoy the spectacle,
Oh,
shall we?
I will.
You were wondering why Emmett Selk joined the convocation. Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was, on the strength of my ability to see ether. But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Worse even, quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating ether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so.
God, I am absolutely terrible at what I do. But
What good is the ability to perceive a problem if one cannot act to address it? Emmett Selk has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree. If there is a mage more powerful, I do not know of them. Thus did I recommend him for the office in my stead. And I wasn't the only one. Far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over, to whom he had previously lent a helping hand.
oh, I bet he was just over the moon to join, wasn't he? He was just like, I'm not doing this, no.
Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault.
I do like looking back into the past of Emmett, and yeah, knowing how it ends, it is very sad.
He deserved
But I basically
every bit
love
of acclaim
Emmett
he
more.
received. Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a mutual friend. A singular soul who can't help but involve herself in the business of others. Where she walks, excitement is certain to follow.
Does she look like me?
Her antics irritate Emmett Selk to no end. But much of his grumbling stems from genuine concern. When our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents. And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him. They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world, and when they have fulfilled their respective purposes, so too shall I have fulfilled mine, and together we may return to the star. Look at me, spilling my innermost secrets. I can't seem to help it with you.
People tend to do that.
I can only assume it is due to the color of your soul. I just don't understand how you can be so alike and yet so different.
Well done, my pet. Well done.
Eflodius, the best friend. Yep.
Ah, yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on. Why don't you go and signal to Emmett Selk? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
He has been in constant pain this entire time. It was so arduous. That mount looks so silly flying. I love the little flappy tassels. Oh, I need to wave at him. Aye. Emerging from his reverie, Emmett Selk notices you and begins to descend with the Charybdis. Emmett Selk noticed me. Oh wow, 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 wow. Emmett's the strong boy, and Eflodius is the friend and best boy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, the Charybdis has learned to fly. Andrew and I could relax and have a pleasant chat. I'm sure you did. The creature needed some small assistance at first, but soon it was flying more or less on its own. I doubt you will need to repeat the lesson. That was truly impressive. I witnessed it all from afar. The cryptus flies. Indeed, with this, we've proven that even a creature with skewed etheric balance is capable of flight. Though we helped it to achieve this, a cryptus is a herd animal. They may well aid their struggling kin in like fashion, if and when the need arises. Keeping this in mind, I bid you continue observing them. If that's what you want. But if I may say so, rather than hoping an idealistic possibility comes to pass, would it not be simpler to have the concept adjusted? That way we could guarantee that anomalies such as this specimen are never born in the first place. These creatures are already here. We will spare no effort in giving them a chance to survive. As you wish, Chief. As you wish. Hermes. I'm fine, don't worry. Well, that concludes all of my present tasks. Let's return to Anagnoris for now. Anagnoris, 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 Anagnoris. I think I have a bit of a sore throat from yesterday. I should have probably not spent, 4 hours, 5 hours playing Voice of the Void when it's like midnight. Probably a bad idea. What? Want to apologize for forcing me to help, do you? Save your breath. You didn't force me to do anything. I merely chose the most expeditious way to have done with an impediment to our business. And tell me, Drew, in the course of watching me, have you learned aught of value? Dynamis seemed promising. Could end up studying that. Dynamis, you say? Curious that such an obscure phenomenon should be the interest to you. Chief Hermes, what good fortune to find you here. Is something the matter? Oh my god. The Lycion, I'm afraid it's done it again. No sooner did we release one for observation than it set upon the nearby occupants, slaughtering them. Was the creature hungry? Or somehow provoked? I had just fed them myself, and the occupants were keeping a wide berth. It is the nature of the Lycion that is to blame, their innate viciousness. And temperament aside, it is an outstanding creation, perfect in form and function. And though it may not be suited for release, I have no doubt that the Bureau will accept its concept for preservation. In any case, there's no point in postponing the inevitable. Doros will revert them all once the paperwork is in order. Where's the scene of the incident? Just off the path to the 12 Wonders. As you make your way, you should see it to the left. I don't know if Doris is still there, however. Hermes, wait! Oh, if this is part of his work, then I would observe. We follow. forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back, and then go forward. Forward and back. And then go forward and back, and one goes forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back, and one moves forward. The lacerations and burns are unmistakable. A lichen was indeed responsible. But the creature is nowhere to be seen. Doros must have taken it away. The man makes his base at the 12 Wonders. I shall go and seek him out there. Emmett Selk and I will search the area for good measure, just to make sure the lichen didn't escape. My thanks. Let us meet at the 12 Wonders when you're finished. I will go on ahead. Please follow with Drew.
Come. It's down this path and over the bridge.
Oh. Let's go, sweet bird thing. I need more water. Yeah. Maybe a throat candy. No. Leave me alone. Goodbye.
There it is, the 12 Wonders. Hermes is looking for Doros. Let's look for Doros too. He's a man with long, blonde hair, I think. I'll know him when I see him.
Hey, that's Boss. Blonde-haired man.
Doros, that's Doros.
Well now, if it isn't Methion, what brings you here? Or Methion? Ah, I thought I heard a familiar voice. I didn't realize you two had decided to help me search for Doros. Thank you. You're in charge of the Lycones, I believe. Where are they now? Out in the fields in restraints. Frenzied as they are, I couldn't well return them to Ctasis. Once I've submitted my report, I'll see them reverted without delay. It's as he says, the beasts are indeed quite ferocious. You're one of the 14. What brings you here? Nothing you need to concern yourself with, as you were. We've heard the news that the Lycan slaughtered Occupites. As the observer in charge, you are of the opinion that they are not fit to be released? I am. Their abnormal aggression and exceptional strength makes for a highly problematic combination. It matters not where they are released. Lycones would threaten other species and upset the natural order. Could it be that the specimens observed are an outlier? No, highly unlikely. We've created a good many of them, all exhibiting the same tendencies. Even when we used Kairos to begin with a fresh slate, their behavior was unchanged. Kairos? A memory reconfiguration system. The chief himself installed it. It allows us to erase or alter memories that we may observe creations in different environmental conditions, without needing to remake them from scratch. Quite impressive, and potentially dangerous. Depending on the intensity of the etheric emissions, Pashtarot may wish to have a word with you. Rest assured, I've kept all values within prescribed limits. And to prevent misuse, its applications are limited to those authorized by the Chief Overseer. Do not misunderstand. To manipulate a subject's memories is an intrusive act I deeply abhor, but it is still preferable to execution. Come now, Chief. Let's not be melodramatic. What was born of Aether is simply being reduced to its original state. I know the distinctions concern you, but we mustn't lose sight of the bigger picture, making rational choices for the sake of a more prosperous star. If a creation cannot be properly studied, even with the aid of Kairos, we remake it. If a creation is deemed a detrimental existence, we unmake it. It's all for the greater good, and none questioned the necessity of such routine processes. I understand these things, I do. I would never think to unleash a clear and undeniable threat into the world, yet insignificant though their individual lives may be next to all creation, it is all the Lycans have. Before we seal their fates, we owe it to these beings to exhaust all options, to ensure that nothing has been overlooked. But if you insist, let me provide you with a full report, and we may take it from there. Would it be possible for us to attend a discussion, that M itself may better carry out its duties? By all means. And pray show them to the meeting room. Are you alright?
To man, other beings are just things to be used and controlled like magic. That's what Hermes told me once.
I fear this discussion may take a while, during which time... Meteor, are you feeling unwell?
It's not me, Hermes. It's you. I won't go to the meeting. I'll stay with Drew.
Loath though I am to impose, may I leave Meteor in your care again? Oh, I love having this little bird gal around. Let me walk around with her. I'm in your debt, if you'll excuse me.
Shh, I didn't excuse him. The meeting will make Hermes sad. I want to cheer him up with a flower. Hermes likes flowers the most, of all creations in Elpis. Most creations are expected to be interesting, or beautiful, or strong. Better, in some ways. But flowers are different. They're designed to suit our emotion, what we feel and want to convey. Hermes likes that. I can't make flowers, so we'll search for one. And I want you to search with me. Let's start here, at the 12 Wonders.
Okay, while we're doing that, I'm gonna be right back, grab some water and a little throat thing. Hello, I am back. And I've got a little candy inside my mouth. Alright. Are any fun little flowers? They're purple. I think they're pretty great. Vibrant purple flowers bigger than your hands adorn this tree.
Oh, so big and bright. I love them. But they might be too bright. You have to think of the recipient. That's what Hermes said.
What are the flowers on this tree? All the way up there. A tall, slender tree rises before you. You crank your neck to look for flowers.
No flowers. If there were apples, we could have covered them in syrup. Let's head outside next. Don't worry, we won't wander far.
Alright, just this once though. What do we have here? Lavender? An array of beautiful flowers grow in the bed, their mix of colours forming a pattern.
These would be better for Hermes, but they're hedged in. That means we shouldn't touch them. They're either under observation or poisonous. Now, any other places should be fine. No, let's keep looking.
Alright. How about here? Boy, I sure hope they're not poisonous. Starts ticking poison damage. Oh. Set on a tall, thin stalk, the oddly shaped flower is mesmerizing in its undulations.
Orconian! A flower that can move! When Hermes wasn't looking, it shot seeds at him. Not a good gift. Maybe. But you're good, Drew, at spotting flowers. We'll find something soon.
What do you mean he wouldn't like this? I like this. I mean, even though it shot seeds at him, I mean, he likes these kind of things. So I think it would be a good fit. You find nothing promising nearby. At best, common-looking grasses with some few tiny flowers.
Nothing around here. Oh, up there, Drew. Something big. Huge.
Where? Oh. You want a Marlboro? I mean, I guess. A terrible stench, reminiscent of sodden old boots, pervades the air. Without a doubt, the culprit is the Morbol-like creature before you.
It's an Adonis! The thing around its mouth look like petals, but the flowers are the orbs on its head. When Hermes inspected it, it swallowed him up. He didn't leave his room for days. What do you think, Drew? Would he like it?
I'd rather not go near that thing. I have bad memories with these sort of things.
So not this one either.
Finding a good flower, it's harder than I thought.
I'm sorry, Drew. Could we search a little more? Maybe as far as the fields over there. I'll pick something after that, I promise.
Lush green fields stretch out before you, ending where the sky begins.
Oh, there's nothing. The shining thing over there? What could that be?
Oh, the little white flowers. Yeah, these ones are nice.
Elpis flowers. They're here too. Hermes likes and dislikes them at the same time. Like me, they're entelachis. Like me, they feel his pain and turn dark. That's only for Hermes, though. For others, they're always white and bright.
Yep, that was definitely a flashback to the flowers.
Truly? The flower was dark in your home? Then do you have it too? A dark emotion?
Oh. I dare say I have a few. Quite a few.
You don't have to say it. I can feel it's something you want to hide. But won't you lend it to me? The darkness inside you? I want you to make the flower dark in front of Hermes. He has been in a dark place since before he created me. He needs to know that he's not there alone, that others are sad too.
Sure. I'll pour all of my depression into one flower, watch it explode.
Truly, you'll do it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It means more to me than I can say. I can't wait to see how Hermes reacts. Let's get back to fetch him.
Oh no, I crushed the flowers. Oops. Well, it's a good thing there's a couple of those around here.
It seems they're still talking. Let's wait until they finished.
Ooh, they've been at it for a while.
Hermes!
Oh, you were waiting for me.
You've finished talking?
Yes, we've come to a decision. My thanks for keeping Meteon company. Emmett Selk and Hythlodaeus have already retired to their rooms. There is room for you too, if you would follow me.
Wait! I want to show you something first.
Hey, do you want to see how hard I can cry?
Elpis flowers?
Go on.
Yep. Time to pour all my depression in here.
You're not the only one, Hermes. Others feel sad too. You're not alone.
I see Meteon has shared much with you. May we talk a moment?
Oh no, he's hot. Is that a hedgehog? Oh. The flower starts growing darker.
I do not think it wrong that we live for the star, that we strive to make it a better place. And yet, in carrying out my duties here, there are times when I am plagued by doubt. Do you recall what Hythlodaeus said when we first spoke of my nomination? Death is the privilege of those who have fulfilled their purpose, a choice they embrace of their own free will. And when they depart, it is always beautiful. Perhaps it is, but only for man. Creations that he deems useless are discarded with nary a second thought.
Oh my god,
Some
little
scarcely
Richard!
born into the world, afforded a handful of breaths before life and potential are abruptly extinguished.
Sorry, what was that? I wasn't looking. I was looking at this family of hedgehogs. Oh my god.
We make an effort to spare them the pain, but they sense what awaits. Rage and anguish and cower and fear. And it is not beautiful. Yet no one cares. No one. So fixated are we upon the duty that we do not pause to question the method. Pain and suffering, confusion and despair, writ plain in the eyes of those poor creatures. Yet no one sees. We turn a blind eye and carry on in blissful ignorance. Not amiss. And always, always the blossoms shine pure and white. A contradiction so blatant I could scream, want to scream. How can you all accept this aberration?
I get you, man. I get you.
Then I wonder, am I the aberration for thinking thus? And I am filled with dread. But now I know I'm not alone. Not the only one for whom the flowers weep. I won't ask what you thought as you kneeled beside the Elpis, or if you only did it at Meteon's insistence. Nevertheless, I thank you. To know that you too have experienced suffering is a comfort.
Oh, I could tell you all about suffering.
Lest you misunderstand, I derive no pleasure from your pain. It's just the fact that you are still here in spite of your suffering gives me heart. The stars in the heavens. Know you what they are? Though it is too far to tell, each glittering light could be a world not unlike Aetheris. A world filled with life. So many stars, so many lives. For us, there may be no higher purpose than to live for our world. But what of the other living beings out there? What is it that gives their lives meaning? That drives them day after day? To pose that question to our undiscovered cousins, I created beings of dynamis, who can traverse the vast emptiness between the stars. Meteon and her sisters.
She has sisters?
Aye, sisters. She has a great many of them. And they have already departed on their journey, traveling to one star and then the next in search of life. As one might expect, exploration on such a grand scale is rife with difficulties, and thus far I've naught to show for it. But I have faith that we will make some manner of discovery ere long. And when we do, I should be glad to share our findings with you, in gratitude for your kindness.
That sounds pretty rad, though.
It's getting rather late. We had best find our beds. It would not do for both of us to be sleep-deprived on the morrow. Come, Meteon. Let us head back.
All right.
What was that about? An all too brief interlude, perhaps, but it is time I attend to my next task. As Emmett Selk and Hyphlodius are aware, we reached a verdict regarding the fate of the Lycones. 7 were created for observation, and all 7 must be unmade. Doris has followed the correct protocols, and as Chief Overseer, I can find no fault in his judgment. The Lycones would disrupt the natural order, ravaging and consuming other species until they themselves starve and perish. They cannot be released into the wild, and they cannot be allowed to remain here in Elpis. I intend to petition the Bureau of Architect to have the concept preserved as a restricted purpose hazard life form. Hyphlodius has pledged to support me in this endeavor. Yet, whatever the Bureau decides, the existing Lycos have served their purpose. Doris has already isolated the creatures, and is preparing to carry out the necessary measures. I will join him forthwith. It is my duty to witness the conclusion to this study. If you are resolved, then we have but to accompany you. Now, of course, let us be off. Then we will return to the main aisle. Yep. Don't you ever make fun of my... Don't you ever make fun of my daughter again. Do you go to the Palace of the Dead as well? Little sippy. Kind of cool looking though. Look at those horns. Wait, that's 4. Where are the other 3? Doris, are you hurt? What happened here? Oh, they caught me off guard. I had them bound for ethereal shackles, but they became frenzied, even more than usual, and broke free. I was able to stop 4. The other 3 escaped. I see them. 2 have taken to the air above, and the 12 wonders. The last is up ahead, lurking in the fields. You and Drew handled that one. The pair in the sky you can leave to me. If that's how it must end, then so be it. I will render assistance to Emmett Selk, unneeded though it is. Meteon, you're to stay here with Doros. But Hermes? The Lycos must be reverted. I would spare you the pain. And mine. This is my burden, not yours. But if you are intent on helping, then please follow my lead. Oh, there it is. It looks so goofy when it flies like that. I appreciate your help, and lament that it is necessary. There it is, our quarry, within striking distance at present, but it feels threatened. It may, but if it feels threatened, it may well flee beyond our reach. Here's my plan. You will approach slowly in full view and draw the Lycon's attention. Now I warn you, its abilities are as fiery as its temperament. Once it spots you, it will unleash orbs of flame. But fear not, by my measure, you are more than equal to the task. You will stand the onslaught for a few brief moments, and that will give me a time to catch it unawares. Ready? Let us begin. Alright. Oh no. Oh no! I guess it's time to actually use my skills then. There we go. I did it. Am I supposed to do something else? No, talk to you. Oh, here. I can barely see that in the grass.
Now. Forgive me. Please, forgive me. May you and your kin find peace. Wherever your souls may drift in the underworld, may you find tranquil seas. Be not forgotten, in concept endure, to reclaim form and one day live again. Serve not the star, or any purpose save your own. Live again, if that be your desire. Hate, if that be your want. We are worthy. But leave your suffering behind. Lay down your burdens, be born anew. Fly high, fly free.
Aww.
Join the convocation, Hermes. You do not belong here.
Leave to replace another. To be replaced. It changes nothing. Tell me, do you think it right that we sacrifice all these lives for the sake of the star? And when the star has reached perfection, what then? If all who are satisfied choose to die, shall we all die in satisfaction? I do not know. Were I to take up the seat of Fandaniel, it would be tantamount to approving my predecessor's death. I do not know if it is right. And to be torn by such thoughts, I do not know if I am fit to represent mankind.
Hermes! Please don't be angry. It hurts so.
Forgive me. If you would still consider me in spite of everything, I beg some time to gather my thoughts. Meanwhile, Hythlodaeus, I fear I must trouble you to attend to the others.
'Tis no trouble at all. Take as long as you require.
And you, my friend, I pray you find that which you seek.
It's bound to be around here somewhere.
I expect we have some few matters to discuss. Shall we return to the 12 Wonders for a time?
Aye.
Well, that was depressing. The other Lycons have been taken care of. The incident is resolved, and life in Elpis continued as normal. Or ends, as the case may be. Rationally speaking, I understand Hermes' argument. No matter how well-deserved a rest, there is a pang of sadness when a colleague leaves us. Yet never has a departure caused me such grief as Hermes appears to feel. What must it be like to experience such torment? Oh, poor Emmett, you'll know, buddy. You'll know. Oh. Where to now? If there is anywhere you would like to visit before we leave, I should be glad to show you the way. Hermes has not yet outright refused his position with the convocation, merely postponed a decision. As such, I may as well resume my assessment. If we cannot accompany him, then I will content myself with questioning his colleagues. Ever the pragmatist. And then allow me to remain in your humble guide. Hi-ya-ya. And whatever you do, will you continue along with us? Sure. Oh, wonderful. Our fellowship travels on unbroken. I say we explore another part of Elpis and see what new encounters there are to be had. If you would follow me, we will first head back towards Anignoris. Anignoris. Anignoris? It's like, I would have to hear it like 20 times before I'm absolutely sure on how to pronounce that. There's certain words you just kind of need to hear from other sources. And even then, some of them might be different. Sometimes they might just say something completely out of left field. Like in how in America, if you travel to different corners of the states, you'll just hear people talking the same words, but completely differently. Even in England. It's fucking Tuesday, innit? No, actually, it's Thursday. How is everyone doing this afternoon? Are you guys alright? While we're flying by to the next thing. You're good, Yaya? That's good, that's good. Oh, I see Nox is streaming. From here, we follow the path northwards to Notonius. Yes. There we will find one of the news, which facilitate travels between the islands of Elpis. First-time travelers must be accompanied by someone with the requisite permission, which I have previously been granted. You only need to use the device together once, and henceforth you will have to leave to use it freely. And shall we? Feel tired, but I'm good. Good. Yeah. I feel that. I'm also a little tired. I'll probably not stream very long, but I'm hoping to see something happen. Or at least progress the story quite a bit. So that'll bring me up there. Here we are, Notanius. This news will take us to Calamelios Zephyros, the western island. And that's it right there, looming large over us. Step this way and we can soon admire the view from above.
I present to you Calamelios Zephyros.
Calamelios. Okay.
Here you will find a number of testing facilities, as well as the observation hub of Poiton Oikos.
Poiton Oikos.
Right then. Let's begin by... Well, well. An Arraius. How delightful.
Oh.
And what, pray tell, is that?
Shark.
That's a new species of shark. We approved the concept but a few days ago. Sharks are among the most popular sea creatures. Rare is the day when someone does not submit a new concept. At first, they were largely orthodox, consideration given to such things as size and environmental impact, and then a whimsical someone thought to bestow it with flight, another superior intelligence. And then the floodgates burst. Concepts with multiple heads, or arms and legs, and so on and so forth. It was getting absurd. A part of me wanted to tell them to go away and find something else to create, but in the end, I couldn't deny their passion. And here we are.
Nice sword. Oh! It's the woman that
That
becomes
was too
Hygelin.
close. Are you unharmed? Well now, if it isn't a pair of familiar faces.
Banar, that we should meet you here.
As I mentioned earlier, the better part of the convocation holds that when we retire is when we return to the star. Well, she is not among said majority. Even after stepping down, she carries on with her work. Vanar is her name, and she is the previous Azem.
It has been a while, Hythlodaeus. You look well. Less so, Emmet Selk. I dare say the lines upon your brow have both deepened and doubled in number. A shame for one so young. You must make an effort to frown less often.
Easier said than done, thanks to your unruly successor.
How is she, if I may ask?
Incorrigible as ever. Rushed headlong into a volcano on the brink of eruption just the other day. I should be glad to share the tale in its entirety later, if you're so inclined.
Oh, you know I am. Now then, you are? I say, have you perchance come from the future?
Uh-oh. She's onto me.
I do not believe we have ever met, yet I sense my magic upon you. Therefore, if I wove the enchantment, I could only have done so at a later point in time.
What manner of magic is this, if I may ask?
A traveler's ward, of course. It prevents the corruption of one's ether.
Well, that would make sense. Does it protect you from enfrollment by primals by any chance?
Primals, you say? But I'm not familiar with such beings. But if they enthrall by warping the balance of ether, then yes, the magic would afford you a measure of protection. I gather from your question that you are not ignorant to its presence.
Hold on. From the future? That's absurd.
Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag.
What
I
is
dare
it?
say the jig is up.
Are you unable to speak of the matter?
The reality to which you must return exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
Nope, can't say anything about it. I mean, I could tell you some things. I guess.
So, your actions here will not change your history, but they may yet affect the course of ours. How very exciting. I'm quite fond of delving into the unknown, and there's naught more unknown than the future. Until a moment finally arrives, we cannot know for certain what will come to pass, regardless of our supposed foreknowledge. So you needn't worry for us. More importantly, that you should go to such great lengths as to travel unto the past bespeaks the gravity of your quest. Will you not reveal it to us? Mayhap we can be of aid to your cause.
Oh, you're twisting my arm, Heidelin. Oops. Well, I guess that cat's out of the bag too.
If this is true, then you've been keeping quite the secret to yourself.
Not like I could tell you.
As a representative of the Convocation, I will hear it all. Your identity, purpose, everything.
Fine. Oh, it makes me incredibly sad.
Why don't we move to a place more conducive to calm conversation? I've been working here for some days now at an old friend's behest. If it is agreeable, we may make use of my accommodation at Poiton Oikos. We were meant to meet. I am certain of it. Else I wouldn't have marked you so clearly, and sent you unto myself in the past. It's precisely the sort of mischief I would get up to. And quite inspired, if I do say so myself.
My apologies, but before we move along, a colleague has tasked me with a matter which I'd rather not leave unresolved. It involves finding a certain concept-engraved crystal, and the quick fingered Aureus which made off of it. An Aureus, you say? I think we might have seen the culprit before being distracted by that business with the shark. Would you like us to follow its ethereal trail? That would, of course, lead us only to the Aureus. There's no guarantee that it hasn't dropped or stashed away the crystal you seek. Oh, please. Even that much would be enormously helpful. While you are hunting down the thief, I cannot follow behind and scour the forest floor just in case. Could I ask you to join the search? I would appreciate another pair of eyes to cover the land to the west of it. Many thanks. There's a small building leading into Poitus Oikos. Let us meet up there once we've exhausted all our efforts. Oh my god, look at those horns. That thing's neck must be so sore. It's like people... Look, if those creatures can have horns like that, then I reckon we can have big boobs without having our backs hurt. Are you with me? I think I'm right. There it is. Big ol' bahongadongas. No, I'm not. Oh. Can't believe this. But big boobs though. No horny. No! But I'm all horny. Look, I have horns. Our last researcher returns. I'm afraid Dorius no longer had the crystal, nor was I able to find it as I followed in his wake. I don't suppose you fared any better. There, here you go. I found it. It's a bit chewed on. Oh, the crystal. Well done. Wonderful. Now I can focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging at my mind. Have you always had a knack for finding things? I've often been asked to do so. It's become a hobby now. Oh, you too? And some of us seem destined to always be searching, for ourselves and for others. And long ago, when I held the seat of Azan, I was forever trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor. Yet I am still eager to come running should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. That is what brings me to Elpis, in fact. Many times has my presence been requested, my opinion sought concerning the habitat of this or that creation. Agreeing to help locate that missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is that it is the way one thing leads to another, wouldn't you agree? Yes, it's like I'm being led down a path throughout a story, you might say. Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, 'tis time I return this stolen property. If you would go on ahead to my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended to that task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top of the slope. I have the entire place to myself, so we can speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard. Okay. Carry me, Pod. My poor short legs can't run up this steep, steep hill. It's made for tall people, and I'm not tall. I am quite small. Oh, ah. Hello. Was that the robot? Yes. Welcome to my temporary abode. Please make yourself at home while I put on some tea. Aww.
A wonderful aroma. I feel more relaxed already.
The leitmotif.
Would that I had sweetmeats to offer, but I travel light out of habit. There's plenty of hot water though, so please have as much tea as you like.
Soup.
Now then,
Bean soup.
will you tell us your tale?
Where do I begin? I'll start with this one, I guess. The fact that the world had been sundered and split into many, many shards.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
Fine. So, I was just this humble little adventurer, right? And then I suddenly hear this voice in my head, calling itself Hydaelyn, you know, and all that. And now I suddenly have the powers to resist being turned by a primal. And then I was like, well, I guess that works out for me. Guess I don't have to worry about that. And then Emmett Selk died. You are Hydaelyn. Yes, you. Oh, yeah. Also, La Brea dies. A lot of people die, actually. It's quite sad. I've killed a machine the size of 2 towers. You build an entire city. It's full of hot topics. You were there too. Kind of like a spooky ghost thing. Oh, I also killed... I killed that and then the world is ending. You know. Is it me or is the air suffocating?
Preposterous. Utterly preposterous.
While not the words I would have chosen, I too have my doubts. Much of it borders on the incredulous. What of you, Vanar?
Not knowing the precise details of the first final days, it is difficult to determine the veracity of the tale. Supposing it is all true, I must ask myself why I would do what I did. Why would I feel I had no recourse but to oppose the 14 and create this Hydaelyn? Circumstances change, of course, but it would not have been an easy decision regardless. No, there must have been a reason. One compelling enough to force me to take such drastic measures. Then there is the Elpis flower, which I said would serve as a guide. That it's of import to your mission is plain, but your presence here leads me to believe that this place also holds significance. But what could it be? What are we meant to accomplish?
Might it not be simply thus? In the future, whence she came, the final days could not be averted. Mankind has no choice but to flee the star. By alerting us to that eventuality, perhaps you wish to pave the way for other futures.
Theoretically speaking, it is a possibility. Yet if that were my primary objective, I see no reason to guide our friend to Elpis specifically. The capital and Amarot, or even my own home would be more logical destinations.
Maybe it's because all 3 of you are here.
True, true. I note also that Hydaelyn did not specify a point in time to which she must return. By this, it may be inferred that it was not critical that we should meet.
Alternately, she had reason to believe that our paths would converge, coincidental though it may seem.
This is quite a puzzle. And we do not have all the pieces.
Hardly any. But we do have one immutable fact. If the final days are indeed as described, they will bring death to all that I hold dear. Yet despite being afforded long years of preparation, the only provisions I could make were for flight. Nay, my first and foremost endeavor would be to find a way to forestall the coming doom.
Given that even the 14 failed, mayhap you deemed it impossible.
Nothing is impossible. This I have always believed. And if Hydaelyn is indeed me, she would believe the same.
Listen to yourself. Are you seriously entertaining the notion that you are a messianic figure in some far-fetched tale? Well, I will not. I refuse to accept that our world could be undone by some unforeseen calamity. I also take offense to my portrayal as a megalomaniacal madman. To sacrifice oneself for the star is a noble act, and I would hold those who gave themselves to this zodiac in the highest esteem. Yet, you claim I recreated Amarot and populated it with phantoms of our people? A bizarre indulgence that would be insulting to their memory.
You did do
Worse
that, though.
still, I even invited you there. Literally invited my own downfall. Why would I do something so idiotic and inexplicable?
You still have, like, centuries and even a millennia worth of time to figure that one out.
Now, I will allow that the hypothetical task of restoring our world would be daunting in the extreme. The thought of having to bear such a burden for 1,000 lives horrifies me. But I would never forsake my duty. I would never forsake my brethren.
I just gave Emmett Selk an existential crisis.
You do not know me. I've had my fill of your fiction. I will return to my duty, and you will not bother me again.
Emmett Selk! Wait!
You've seen much of Elpis already. If you have any observations to share, I should like to hear them.
It's definitely this. Dynamics is definitely the key.
Ah yes, the energy distinct from ether. Though not my field, I have a basic understanding of Dynamis. And you say Hermes researched the phenomenon in the course of creating Meteon? Yes, I believe this warrants further investigation. With that settled, it is time for action. The missing pieces of the puzzle are here, I'm certain of it. And when you find them, the picture my future self has painted will be complete, and you will have your answer. Now suffice it to say, I will aid you in your quest.
They didn't even touch the team.
Have faith. If Emmett Selk is the man Azum described to me, we've not seen the last of him.
I mean, imagine how you'd feel if you were told, oh yeah, you're going to live a long, long time. It's gonna suck, bro. Shall we begin our investigations then? I am acquainted with Hermes, of course, but only as a visitor received by the chief overseer of Elpis. Of the man himself, I know only that which is common knowledge. Thus, I suggest we fall back on the tried and true method of conversing with the locals. The observers who live here can surely tell us more of Hermes and Meteon, and I have a good idea of where we might begin. I'ma grab that, I'ma grab this, I'ma grab. Yippee! See the woman standing in front of yonder building? Her name is Asmin. She is the one who made arrangements for my stay in Elpis, and from what I recall, she has held a position here for quite some time. Chances are she can provide us with some insights. Go and ask your questions. I will help you drawing out answers if need be, but I'll leave the choice of topic up to you. Questions? For me? Well, I suppose I have no other pressing duties at the moment. The following events cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any duty further registrations. Okay. Greetings, Asmin. My friend here is desperately curious about Chief Hermes, and I was wondering if you might indulge her. Oh, certainly, Miss Fido. Anything to be of service. What do you wish to know? What kind of person is Hermes? Well, I can only answer from my own experience, but I would describe him as a quiet man. Reserved, you might say, and occasionally somewhat poor with his choice of words. His reticent nature, however, does not prevent him from carrying out his duties as chief overseer. The man is a walking archive when it comes to life forms. He can discuss any species in incredible detail, and is the leading authority on concepts with the power of flight. I hope that answers your question. Was there anything else? How long has Meteon been here? I cannot rightly say. As the chief's personal creation, Meteon has not been subjected to observation and study like the other concepts. So one day she was simply there, and what do you make of her abilities? I understand that she is highly unusual familiar, able to read emotions and communicate directly with one's mind. Exactly how she was created with that talent, however, is a mystery to me. My apologies. I wish I could explain her nature in more depth, but I've not had the occasion to discuss it with Chief Hermes. Do you trust him? I beg your pardon? I've known Chief Hermes for many years. Though I cannot say we are close, he has never withheld information to the detriment of our duties. If that is what you mean. Forgive us, we seem to have veered slightly off course here. Is there perhaps someone else who could tell us more about Meteon? That would be Timaeus. Tims. He has a similar expertise with flying concept and is more eager to discuss the subject. You'll find him conducting his observations on the banks of the stream, somewhere to the east. Oh, and unless you take a particular joy in rambling discourse, I suggest you keep your questions concise. We shall keep that in mind. Thank you for your patience and your insight. I think nothing of it. There is aught else you need during your stay. Please do not hesitate to ask. Come, Drew. I think we've taken enough of his means time. Our investigation is off to a fine start, wouldn't you agree? From here, I propose that we split up. I shall continue making inquiries with the resident observers. If you could track down the colleagues Ismina mentions... Well, I do feel compelled to interject once or twice during that previous conversation. You seem more than capable of drawing forth the answers you seek. All I ask is that you watch your footing around the stream. We could meet back here once you finish speaking with Tims. There's Tims. Yes, yes, I'm Tims, but please keep your voice down. You'll startle the birds. I put on my Columbo hat. Oh, so what is it you wish to speak about? What do you think of Chief Hermes' flying creations? Chief Hermes' work? A worthy subject indeed. Those beings which soar through the clouds, majestic and graceful, are ever a favorite of creators. Even now, with so many varieties in existence, the flood of newly imagined concepts continues unabated. What sets the Chief's creations apart, however, is how they benefit from his boundless knowledge of the celestial realm. Birds that climb so high that they disappear from view, others which traverse the boundless sky in moments, all without riding the current. I know of none save he who can conceive of such marvels. Even we who prize elegance of form above all else are dumbfounded by its genius. Metean too is a marvel then. My opinion on that matter would be superficial at best. Despite my admiration for Metean as a concept, I've never delved too deeply into the inner workings of her nature. I know that she has a gift for communicating via emotions, but otherwise her abilities are a mystery to me. If Chief Hermes would choose to submit Meteon's concept to the Bureau of the Architect, then will the designs be registered for public scrutiny? Analyzing a colleague's creation before that step is frowned upon, to say the least. Of course, if he came to me, a fellow artisan, looking for advice, that would be an entirely different story. Do you know of Dynamis and Entelechis? Dynamis and Entelechis? Those terms do sound vaguely familiar. Was there not a flower made here in Elpis which exhibited properties of one or the other? It must have been centuries since I last heard someone speak of such a thing. Has there been a resurgence in interest? No. Then why bring up the subject? I'm flattered that you sought my insight, but I cannot afford to neglect my duties for the sake of idle chatter. Now, I really must return to my observations. Surely you have your own tasks to attend to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. Please. What's Noxie up to? Are some of you guys watching Noxie as well? What's she doing? Wow. She started playing Helldivers. I might stop playing soon to join her in that. I don't know. My voice is going a little bit though. So I'm trying to see if I can not stream for super long. And Guild Wars 2? Ah. Isn't... Yeah. Super Adventure Box starts soon, doesn't it? The 14th. 3 days. I'm excited. Back already? That was quick work. You were obviously clever enough to head off any of that rambling. Ismene mentioned. So have you new findings to share? Super what? Super Adventure Box? You know? You know, the little mini game. I can't hear you. I'm pretty sure I'm louder than the game. Is the music louder than me? Ugh. Just a little. Oh. I can never figure out the right audio. It seems so quiet. I see. Even an expert in the field has little understanding of Meteon's capabilities, let alone the awareness of Dynamis. My questions resulted in much the same answers. Hermes' colleagues view Meteon as his personal project and could provide no details beyond those which you just told me. Which leads me to believe that this is the only he is the only person with any significant knowledge of Dynamis that is Hermes himself. Yes, we've made some progress here, but more information is needed if we are to reach any definitive conclusions. At present, the strongest link we have to the final days is the power of Dynamis, and the entelechies which can control it. Yet most scholars are only vaguely aware of these terms, let alone study them in any depth, except for Hermes, it seems. Thus I am inclined to stay our current course, and learn all we can about the Chief Overseer and his familiar. And on that subject, was there aught else of note you could tell me about Meteon? Aside from an unorthodox method of communication. She and her sisters were created to journey the stars for the search of life. I rather wish you'd mentioned that earlier. In any event, would you care to elaborate? Oh yeah, I can. She also has sisters, and they explore space. 30 siblings of her now travel the great expanse in search of deeper meaning. Thank you. Though the mystery at hand remains unresolved, I feel you've touched upon a vital clue, one we should keep in mind as we continue. Next, I propose we take ourselves to Peripatia Crystalline. Not far from here, just follow the path to the west. Yawa. Yeah, I'm getting a bit tired. I think it's been a good short stream. Don't have to do like another 5-hour session. Let's keep it at that. Let's finish this quest, and then we'll be done. The tower and the one further along are both part of the Peripatia Crystalline, the facility where they archive all of Elpis's observational and testing records. Despite how they appear from the outside, the interior is actually a vast area of magically interconnected spaces. Which, while fascinating, is not the reason we are here, is it? I shall cut my architectural lesson short, and see what those two archivists have to share. If you could find someone to speak with over at the tower, I shall join you there anon. Inside? Oh. Nope. Oh, this one. You have questions for me? Certainly, just a moment while I conclude my current appointment. Indeed, so if you could provide a comprehensive log of those behaviors, we should then have sufficient data for our official records. Now, What was it that you wished to speak to me about? The Chief Overseer's personal research project. And by that I assume you mean Meteon. Such undocumented studies are difficult to track. After all, hardly a day goes past without seeing a researcher trailed by one creation or another. I'm afraid I cannot tell you exactly when Meteon appeared, only that she now spends much of her time at the Chief Hermes' side. Although, I do recall an interesting tale my dearest Galeen shared with me. Galeen is my partner and a fellow researcher here in Elpis. She was returning late one night when she caught sight of Chief Hermes sending Meteon heavenward. A host of them. For several days, she would speak of that scene with wonder, describing it as one of the most beautiful spectacles she has ever witnessed. That sounds like a story I should like to hear. Oh. Mistress Valar, I thought you had already returned to the surface. And permit me to thank you again for your invaluable contribution to our concept parliament proposal. And pray do not mention it. And as you say, my original plan was to leave after the task, but I have since become engrossed with Chief Hermes' research. Would you favor me with retelling of the sight which has so delighted your Galeen? Of course. Or you could hear it from her lips directly, if you prefer. Galeen! 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 At present, she should be observing a subject in the Metabaseos Phallici. She does enjoy her time there, watching the sea creatures hunt and play, gazing upon the salty waters of the world's oceans, recreated in such sublime detail. I imagine you must find similar joy in indulging your boundless curiosity, Mistress Vanar. Even though such pursuits must continually and regretfully delay your return to the star. Indeed they do. 'Tis a rest well deserved and long overdue, I should think. How greatly have we prospered for the wisdom you accumulated during your travels as Azam. And what would Elpis be without your earlier academic work? The theories you developed served as the basis of many techniques still in use today. Man is a creature of contemplation, but none embodied a nature with as much enduring passion as you. I dare say, there is not a soul alive more worthy of a return. I shall rejoice the day you depart on your final journey. I will be honored. Do you not want to die? We shall take this opportunity to meet with Galeen in person. Then allow me to reconfigure the door to the archives here. It will take you up to the Skyway and spare you the need to avoid hostile concepts on the ground. That would be most helpful. Thank you. I have opened a path to the Skyway. Once you pass through the door, simply walk straight across the next tower, and ask for admittance to the upper tier. Upon arriving at the upper tier, walk straight across the Skyway, and you will find yourself at the entrance of the Metabaseos Phallici. Galeen will be eager to share her tale with you, I'm sure. Hiding weapons of I am hiding weapons with lethal edges beneath my gown. Mistress Vanar, just passing through. Then allow me to prepare the path. If you need further assistance, there is always an observer or two out down the upper Skyway. He's so approachable. Wow. This area is really pretty. Mistress Fenot, I was not told to I was not told to expect. We should have prepared an official welcome. Please, there's no need for fanfare. I only wish to speak with Galeen, if that might be arranged. Yes, Galeen, of course. I will inform her immediately. But she may be engaged in a testing phase. You could be in for something of a wait. Shall I let her know your business is urgent? Oh, that won't be necessary. This lovely view will keep us occupied until she is ready to receive us. It is a very nice view.
A delightful breeze and a breathtaking view. What is it like in the future? Is the world still a beautiful place?
As beautiful as ever. I'd say there's quite a lot of very interesting places.
I swear I could hear the glimmer in your eyes and the adoration in your voice. While we wait, will you not tell me about your adventures? Well, not the portentous events which led you here, but the simple delights all your own. By learning about the future world, I may gain insight into future me's plans.
Welcome back, but I'm also going to be stopping after this quest because my throat is getting a bit sore. I was going to raid Noxie, but after this.
But more than that, I have an interest simply as a fellow traveller. Short of going somewhere oneself, there's naught more stirring than hearing another's account.
So remember that thing, that like giant robot I told you about that was the size of a skyscraper? Yeah, so the tank blocked it with his limit break. Like a level 3 limit break. Can you believe that? He shot lasers at us, and then the goblins started playing music. So anyway, I crushed them with my bare hands.
Incredible. Would that I could have been there to see it. Yours is a harsh and unforgiving world. Yet in spite of this, your brethren hold fast to their virtue. To know that the light of mankind's potential still shines, even in that faraway place, it gives me heart. Thank you for regaling me with your tales. I will treasure every word.
This is going to go into some weird time shenanigans.
And among other things, I sought to understand the workings of the world. What exactly is ether? How formed the laws of nature? Whence sprung mankind? Riddles and mysteries beyond counting. Over the years, I have managed to find answers to some few of them. Yet rather than attain a sense of mastery, the more I understood, the more I came to hold the world and its miracles in awe. We too are miracles, each and every one of us, born of the warm breath of life that traverses the heavens, swirling through eternity. When I fully grasped the improbability of our existence, nothing felt impossible anymore. If it could be imagined, it could be done. A passion swelled within me. An epiphany dispelling all preconceptions of what was natural and true, and a presence without. Immense, yet intimate. Fate, perhaps, holding us in its tender embrace. As reassuring as it was intimidating. how keenly aware I became of creation's fragility, built as it is upon precarious happenstance. I was overcome with an irrepressible urge to know the world more intimately, to hear its voice, feel its breath. I ventured forth on a journey that very day, so very long ago now. Freed from presumption and prejudice, I saw the world through a newborn's eyes. Everything fresh and new, and so beautiful. Lands that stretched on forever. Skies one could drown in. The heartbeat of nature, silent yet strong. And amidst it all a people. Beacons of light and life. Laughter that warmed my heart like naught else before. They are my meaning, and my purpose, my love. And so long as they need help, I cannot return to the star. Perhaps my future self is still waiting for it. A moment she can let go and walk unto the end. Safe in the knowledge that man will find his own way. You, who are our future, tell me this, and tell me true. Has your journey been good? Has it been worthwhile?
Oh, yeah, it has been. I enjoyed it.
It is pretty smelly.
No. Hi, 50.
Pray forgive my lateness.
Wow,
My
you rushed
observation
here.
subject was rather irritable, and it took a while to settle it down.
No need to apologize. Your work takes precedence. Besides, we had a pleasant conversation in the meantime.
You're too kind. Now then, I'm told you wished to ask me some questions.
Indeed. I've an interest in one of Hermes' creations. Meteon. You witnessed a host of them take flight, yes?
Oh, that! Yes, I did. 'Twas in the dark of the morn. I'd left the Thalassai after nocturnal observation. As I walked along, I spied a bright light climbing high into the southeastern skies. Then, in an instant, it was gone, like a shooting star, only rising rather than falling. But then another shot up, then another, and another. Intrigued, I made my way to the edge to investigate.
Hermes' space program.
And who should I spy on an isle to the south but Hermes and Meteon, the Metea, rather. There were lots of them, and I realized they must be the shooting stars that I'd seen.
A dazzling spectacle indeed. Have you spoken with Hermes about this?
Oh, yes. The sight left such an impression on me that I approached him about his mystery project the very next day. Alas, he said that he couldn't reveal anything just yet, that he needed to conduct further tests. It shouldn't be long now, though. He often returns to that isle, and I have a feeling he's nearing a breakthrough.
Splendid. We are likewise eager for the details. Well, that is all we wish to ask. Thank you for taking the time to indulge our curiosity.
You're very welcome. It's always a pleasure to speak with other inquisitive souls. Oh, and will you be descending now? If so, I shall link the doors for you.
Please.
How are you both doing, by the way? Absol and 50. I hope you're doing alright. though another piece of the puzzle falls into place. From what I've learned thus far, I think we can safely conclude that Hermes hasn't been revealing the details of his research to others. Which suggests that either someone will appropriate his discoveries and make use of them, or that Hermes himself will have a hand in causing the final days. And since we have no reason yet to suspect the former, we should consider the latter the more likely possibility. Proceeding under that assumption, our next step should be to divine why, or even if, he might desire such a terrible fate for our star. Oh, what? Oh my god, hello. I was just about to stop streaming. Yes, I just finished talking with Vanat in Elpis. Yes. Yes. What? What's up? Oh. I hope you feel better soon, Uds. Oh. Let me end the stream real quick. I'm gonna send it over to Noxie and then we can chat. Yo. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Say hi to Noxie. Yes. I don't stink! Where? No, I don't. What the fuck? Alright. Go say hi to Noxie.
Extra thick!
What? Just because I'm here, you're ending stream. Yes, of course. That's the only reason why. Not because I've been streaming for like 3 hours and my voice is getting a little sore. Alright, bye guys!